Hi, my name is Linda of Smile Inside. I'm a holistic tutor, practitioner, and also author of the book Wake You Wake Up, Rise and Shine. This book is about my journey following a heart attack and heart failure about 18 months ago, when I wasn't expected to survive the night and my heart was only operating at 17%. I realised that I had to take responsibility for my own well-being. There were various things that were going on around me, and as I was observing in my weak state at that time, and then during my rehabilitation, I realised that the only person that knew what was best for me was me. I've been a holistic practitioner for over 15 years, and so when the medics wanted to give me cardioversion, which was putting paddles on my chest like you see on the movies and zapping my heart back into rhythm, because I'd been left with arrhythmia following the heart attack and following the heart failure, when they wanted to do that, I knew that that was the wrong direction for me. A lot of my friends thought I was being fearful. It wasn't being fearful. It was purely that I knew that I needed to listen to my own body, because my body was telling me something was wrong with the way that I was living, my lifestyle, my emotions. I needed to change. And unless I took the responsibility for my own well-being, I would never find that out. And if I had cardioversion, I felt that I would be bullying myself and bullying my body into submission, rather than working with what was causing the arrhythmia, what caused the heart attack, what caused the heart failure. And my God, I've been an advocate that dis-ease of emotions cause disease of the body for a long time. So I was really quite shocked when I had these experiences 18 months ago. So shocked indeed that when I started my adventure on my rehabilitation on my own terms, the lessons that I was learning, the insights that I now had the time to see and experience and process were phenomenal. I could not believe that these messages had been coming round and round and round again, time and time again, for decades, and I'd missed them, so they kept coming back around. And the reason that I'd kept missing them was because I was so busy. I was busy having fun. I was busy being a successful career woman. I was busy building my holistic practice. I was busy refurbing a narrowboat. I was busy doing this. I was busy doing that. And I very rarely gave myself the time to stop and process and look and ask myself, what have I just seen here? What am I experiencing? Why is this coming back around again? At that time in my life, I was thinking, oh, boo-hoo, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Why does this keep happening to me? And over the last 18 months, it's been totally evident what's been going on, and this is why I wrote the book. I started researching what I needed to do for my own well-being. Things like, because I did not want to stay on the pharmaceuticals that I was put on, so I had to look at an alternative means of working with my body. So, for example, with the beta blockers were there to stop me getting anxious, to stop me getting angry, to basically stop the adrenaline, I suppose, and the cortisol in my body. But that also meant that I was numbing the things that caused me anxiety and upset. And so these were still happening in my life. So when I took myself off these, when I felt it was appropriate, which was several months down the line, and I put myself onto herbal equivalents, okay? I did not stop and just not do anything. I took myself onto herbal equivalents with the help of a herbalist and my acupuncturist, And when I did so, because they were a more gentle way of working with my body, I was able to see what was causing me anxiety, what was causing me worry, what was causing me upset. And from this, I was able to work with my body to find a different way of responding instead of reacting, responding to those triggers. Because it was absolutely crucial that I did not put extra stress on my recovering heart, which at only 17% had a lot of recovering to do. And, at any moment, any particular upset, for example, that could have been the last upset for all I knew, I was in a very fragile state. and I'd always been a very robust horsey bird, slinging bales of straw and hay about and mucking out my horse and riding my 16-1 beautiful Irish Draft thoroughbred mare, who was quite a handful, bless her. I wonder where she got that from. They say pets are like their owners, don't they? So with that in mind, I had to then start to look at different ways of responding. And instead of putting my head in the sand and just avoiding those triggers, I had to acknowledge that they were in my life, see what I could do about changing the way that I reacted and responded. So instead of doing a wah react, it was okay, let's think, what am I going to do next time this trigger comes along? How would I like to respond? Working out how I would like to respond and then working with that. And you have to do this, you have to prepare. Prevention is better than cure in so many different ways, but having to prepare for it so that when it comes around, you've got a response ready. Okay, and in doing that, your body then doesn't send out the adrenaline, the stress hormones, for example. It doesn't send those out because gradually you're training yourself, you're reprogramming yourself not to do that anymore. So, and that is absolutely crucial. There are so many different ways, and this is where we have the ability to respond, which is called responsibility. Isn't it amazing, the origin of words? So, I would like to talk to you now about briefly about Eastern and Western medicine. So Western medicine is, I was taken into hospital, I was put on a drip, I was given an x-ray, I was put onto pharmaceuticals, I was given an angiogram, and then they wanted to give me cardioversion, and I was discharged on pharmaceuticals. That all falls under the bracket of Western medicine. At the time I had my heart attack, I did not know that that's what was going on. It wasn't a chest clutching, fall to the floor experience for me. It was a rapid breathing, chest felt a bit tight, couldn't control my breathing, didn't know what was going on. And this happened at midnight when I was 2,500 feet up a mountain, home alone in Spain. And my language wasn't strong enough at that time, my Spanish language, to be able to call an ambulance and locate and direct them to where I was in my remote location. So I just weathered it out. But the reason I was able to weather it out and able to get a grip, not panic, is because I practiced Reiki on myself. So Reiki, as you may or may not be aware, is a healing practice which every single person is capable of doing. I teach workshops online and in person. If you happen to be in Spain, come on over. If not, I can do it via Zoom, and I'm doing a special offer at the moment at £50 or €55, and we do this online via Zoom, so we have face-to-face contact the whole time. Now, what Reiki does is it draws down the energy from the universe, the thing that gives everything life, plants, animals, everything, human beings. It gives everything life. There is energy within everything. And what I was able to do, I knew that something wasn't right. I didn't know what. I didn't have to know what. All I knew is that it was time to draw down Reiki for my own greatest and highest good so that I survived. Now, in doing that, I also tapped into my intuition. So when I thought, right, my front door's locked, perhaps I should get out of bed and unlock it so that anyone can get in and help me. This voice in my head went, no, do not move. So I listened to it because I was tuned in to Reiki energy. And this is something that you can do, that everybody can do. If you don't choose me as your Reiki master, choose whoever you do have an affinity with. It's very important to do that because as a Reiki master, I'm not just there for your workshop, I'm there for the duration of your Reiki journey as much as you want me there. And I hold monthly Reiki shares via Zoom so that we can all join together, share experiences, meditate, do a Reiki, something, practice with Reiki. It's a wonderful thing. That kept me alive that night. I have no doubt whatsoever that Reiki kept me alive. By the morning when I went to the doctor, there was no evidence that I'd had a heart attack. I was given medication for an allergy, and by the Friday, I couldn't walk from one end of the room to the other, and I went into heart failure and wasn't expected to survive the night. When I was rushed into hospital, I practiced Reiki on myself again. I was oblivious, I was in and out of awareness what was going on, but I was able to work with Reiki for my own greatest and highest good, so that I survived. I was not expected to survive the night, and I did. I held a positive mindset using the balance procedure as well. The balance procedure uses symbol cards and affirmations and absolute ownership of the fact that I have responsibility for my own well-being, my own life, and what I manifest around me. Now, I'd always wanted to write a book, and I always knew that I was so busy, when am I going to have the time to do it? And basically this gave me the opportunity to write a book and a great subject matter to write about. It's not just about the heart attack, and in no way is it a boohoo book. This is what I would call a spiritual guidebook. This is what I aimed for, and the reviews that I've had show me that I've hit the mark on that. It was to show other people, to show everybody, not just people with heart disease or heart issues, to show everybody that we need to pay attention to what's going on around us, pay attention to our bodies, because we have the responsibility to ourselves to do just that. Now, Reiki, acupuncture, acupressure, reflexology, you may go even as far as to say qigong and yoga and stuff like that, things like that, that they are also Eastern ways. So we have Western medicine and we have Eastern medicine, and you bring the two together, and that's integrated medicine. And this is what I advocate now, the combination of the two, but you are the person that manages that. You have the ability to work with that, and there are plenty of ways to do that and do what you're drawn to do. Okay, I also teach the balance procedure workshops online and in person, but there are so many different therapies. I'm teaching myself online via workshop acupressure. I knew that I had to go for acupuncture as soon as I was discharged from hospital. It just dropped into my head when I was working with the balance procedure. But I was too impatient, and so I set about finding out the acupressure points for the heart, which is about here, and about here, and here, and here. Interestingly, whilst I was going, oh, okay, let me have a go at this then, and I pressed this point here, and I yelped. I jumped out of my skin. That point was so tender, and as soon as I started massaging it, I burst into tears. And it wasn't because of the pain, it was because of the emotional aspect that was going on, the emotional block. These are all ways that we can work with ourselves at home while I'm watching the TV. This is exactly what I do. I massage this point, I massage this point, I massage my solar plexus, which is just in between your ribs at the front there. I work with myself, and this is what I'm saying to you that you can do too. Why should we do that? Well, I heard on the radio just last week, this is Radio 2, BBC Radio 2, that a minimum of 800 people, young people, have died of heart disease since March. People that should not have died, people that did not fit into the criteria for heart disease because they were so young. And the reason that they died was because of COVID, because they didn't go to hospital care, or perhaps they didn't get the care, or perhaps they just wanted to avoid going to the doctors because of the situations at the moment. 800 people were not diagnosed with heart disease and died. Young people, okay? I was only 52 when I had my heart episodes. I now call it my awakening, the best thing that ever happened to me, because it has changed my life completely, but for the better. I suppose I do still wish that I could do certain things like drink alcohol, which I can't, but actually that's opened my mind up to such a different way of being. I'm delighted that I have this different episode in my life. It was time for change, and my body was telling me that. And I ignored it because I was too busy having fun, too busy rushing around, too busy doing this, too busy doing that. And so my body stepped in, and my soul stepped in and said, right, Linda, if you're not going to listen, we're going to make you listen. And it did. Don't be one of those 800 people, or don't add to that number. Take responsibility for your own well-being now. Stop and smell the roses. Listen to what your body is telling you, and then do something about it. Okay, there's no point waiting for the heart failure, the heart attack. I was such a robust, strong person right up until the point that my heart failed. I was dancing and having so much fun. From the moment that heart thing happened, I could not even prop myself up on my elbow in bed. for about a month, maybe 2. That's how weak I became. That's how damaged my heart was overnight, like that. So another fact and figure which you might like to be aware of is that 70%, 70% of deaths, annual deaths, are from chronic diseases. Now, a chronic disease takes a long time to become chronic. It takes a long time for your dis-ease in your body to reach the point that it's got enough energy to manifest. It's got enough dis-ease to manifest and make the cells in your body unhealthy, to make the organs in your body unhealthy, to make the processes in your body ineffective. So by keeping our awareness and taking responsibility for our own well-being, especially at the moment, you've got the time. If you're not commuting into work anymore, use that time. You know, we've been given this extra time by coronavirus during lockdown. We've been given this extra time. Use it for you, for self-development, for you. And it doesn't have to cost a fortune, you know. I would hope that if money is an issue, find a therapist who'll barter, perhaps, you know, exchange services. We're all in this together. Let's work together, you know. Integrate. 70% of deaths in America, for example, are down to chronic diseases. The cost of that medical care for the chronic diseases is $1.5 trillion a year. $1.5 trillion a year is the annual cost of healthcare for the chronic diseases. Now that's great for the drug companies, but not great for you and me and everybody else who's having to go through these procedures, take these tablets and have their life changed dramatically, perhaps by whatever they're going through and experiencing for themselves. Okay, we can do something for ourselves. If you go to your doctor, as I did, and said, I've got this really weird purple rash on the back of my legs, what is it? And they dismissed me with cortisone cream, and I said, are you sure it's not vascular? And I explained why I thought it was vascular. No, it's not. 2 GPs and a dermatologist all told me, no, it's not vascular when I asked them. They all gave me cortisone cream or told me to eliminate different foods from my diet to see if it was an allergy. I said, but it's not there when I get it when I'm in bed, but when I walk to the bathroom, it appears. I think it's vascular. No. Try cortisone cream. Well, I did. It didn't work. When I was in hospital on the heart meds, the rash disappeared and it never came back because I was on the heart meds. It was down to blood pooling. Use your intuition. This is what the balance procedure teaches us. This is what I can teach you through workshops. This is what Reiki will empower you to do, to listen to your higher self, tune into that energy and heal yourself. If you feel that you have something going on within you and you are being dismissed by whoever, or you even dismiss it yourself, if you have tests and the tests are saying, no, there's nothing, it's fine. If you know that you have an energetic imbalance, you have the capability of putting that balance right with Reiki, with the balance procedure, by going for acupuncture, by practicing acupressure, by going for reflexology. You can put that energetic balance right. All it means is that they haven't invented a machine yet to measure that imbalance. It does not mean that there isn't an imbalance there. You have the capability to do that. I am not dismissing the medical profession at all. I would not be here if it wasn't for the medical profession. I think they are wonderful with what they do. However, I also think that Eastern medicine has so much more to offer than it's given credit for, and that we need to work with both and integrate the two. Had I gone for cardioversion to put my heart back into rhythm, and had it worked, which I'm reassured that it would have done, I would not have gone on the journey. This is 242 pages of journey here. You know, this isn't a little kind of like Janet and John book. No disrespect to Ladybird there. This is my research. This is what happened. This is the insights that I got. And with cardioversion, yes, it might zap you back into rhythm, but it doesn't let you experience why your heart was out of rhythm in the first place. Now, over the last 18 months since all of this happened, my heart has gone out of rhythm quite a few times. I would say maybe 10 or 20 times. If I hadn't taken responsibility and looked at different ways of bringing it back, which I do every single time I bring it back, and I bring it back with acupressure, with aromatherapy, with the balance procedure, everything that I'm mentioning, I bring it back. If I hadn't done that, if I hadn't embraced the fact that I have the responsibility, every time it went out of rhythm, I'd be going back to the doctors and I'd be zapping, getting zapped, or having one of these gizmos installed so that I could do it myself. And I've seen these on movies, I've seen it, and it really knocks you for six, according to the movies. Maybe they're using poetic license, but according to the movies, you know, you've got this little button, then you've got this little implant, and if your heart goes out of rhythm, an alarm goes off. And with that, you press your button and you go flying. And, you know, quite literally knocked for six. I mean, imagine an electric shock. You really want to do that to yourself, when instead you can like massage your heart points or whatever it is for your particular ailment, yeah? Or to stop yourself getting that ailment in the first place. So this is what we can do. Why would I would have had to do that 20 times by now. And instead, I've gone, what's caused me the anxiety that's made my heart go out of rhythm? And I've worked with that. What can I change about that? I can change the way I react to that. I can remove myself from that situation. I can change the way I think about that. I can have a back flower remedy. I'm a back flower remedy therapist as well. There are 38 different back flower remedies, which I've just made myself a potion the other day, where I've mixed several of them together to help me manage the emotional issues that are going around in my head at the moment. It's like layers of onion. You deal with one layer, it peels away, off it goes, and then a little while later, however long later, you'll recognise that there's something else that needs to be addressed. And so there is a different lot of remedies that you can combine to give yourself a remedy. And I work with that as well. So if you'd like a back flower remedy, do get in touch. My website is smileinside.co.uk, and both my Facebook and YouTube channels are Smile Inside 13. Okay, so listen to your body. Lockdown, yes. Do something about it before it manifests. And back to the book. Please do take a look. Even if you just go onto Amazon and have a read of the first few pages, I've reduced the price down from, it was 13, it's now 10 or $9.99, and the ebook is only $2.99, because I want to get the word out. This is my passion. This is the reason I was put on this planet. This is the reason that I went through the heart attack and heart failure, for my own personal development and to empower you to take the responsibility for your own well-being. Okay, so I'd love to hear your comments. Please do comment below. I'm in the midst of setting up a website with my good friend Adrienne Green called responsibilityhub.com, and what we're going to be doing there is inviting therapists, practitioners, Eastern medicine, anybody to register with us, put their information on there, so that anybody at any time can go there and have a look and see what appeals to them, and take the responsibility for yourself. So namaste, enjoy the weekend. Thank you.